Well, strengthening the global trade networks is one step to boost global supply and to suppress inflation. How do you see the role of Asian countries and Indonesia notably in coordinated in supporting this cooperation?
Well, indeed, the fact that we need to move away from certain dependencies on Russia's supplies makes for the EU diversification of our trade and investment network a priority, and that's why we are engaged in different countries around the world, including here in ASEAN region. We have already some years ago upgraded our EU-ASEAN cooperation to strategic partnership. We have trade agreements already with some ASEAN countries like Vietnam and Singapore, and currently we are in the process of negotiation of comprehensive economic partnership agreement with Indonesia. And in case of Indonesia, we really see that there is lots of untapped potential of trade and investment between EU and Indonesia. To give one example, Indonesia is by far the largest ASEAN economy, but it's fifth largest trading partner in ASEAN with the EU. So just gives a scale of potential which is untapped. So that's why we see lots of economic value for both EU and Indonesia in concluding this agreement.
As we know, Indonesia is restricting export of raw minerals in order to encourage investment in downstream mineral sector. How do you see this, especially in global trading networks?
Yeah, well, there are many tools how countries can support development of their industrial base and also increase the value added in the industries. Of course, what's important that it's done respecting international, in this case, WTO rules.
So far, how do you see the potential of nickel and also CPO for added value to the global trade networks?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was mentioning. It's important, of course, that the measures which are taken to support industry are in line with WTO rules. And there, for example, as you know, we had certain concerns in WTO case concerning the nickel ore export restrictions, which correspondingly provides domestic industry with nickel ore substantially below world market price, which clearly creates, so to say, unlevel playing field internationally.
Well, speaking of investment, what are the investment programs that European Union focusing on currently?
Internationally,
yes.
As regards investment programs internationally, I would, for example, mention Just Energy Transition Program, which is there to support the green transition of economies around the world, which is there to facilitate rollout of renewable energies. And Indonesia is explicitly mentioned in our strategy as a beneficiary of those Just Energy Transition programs. So we are doing so together with Japan, with US. Well, there is aim on one hand to ensure regulatory reforms which facilitate the investment in renewables, in green investment in general, but there's also concessional financing available from the European Investment Bank actually to facilitate those.
And what about Indonesia in terms of the new capital of Indonesia, Nusantara? What are the European Union interesting or focusing and keen on this potential investment?
Indeed, obviously, that's a major endeavor for Indonesia, and clearly it provides lots of opportunities also for companies, so to say, building the new city. Of course, from our side, we are very much willing to facilitate that it's done in a green and innovative way. But that brings us, for example, back to the negotiations on our CEPA negotiations. One of area which is important for those negotiations is also access to the public procurement, because that actually would allow European companies also to participate in this endeavor.
And what about in supporting the renewable energy in this country from European Commission?
Yeah, that's why I was mentioning previous this Just Energy Transition Program, which is specifically there to support renewable energy and green transition in general.
And what about, do you see the potential investment? As we know, on the other hand, Indonesia is the largest producer, one of the largest producers of coal.
That's exactly the point, that the fight against climate change is a global endeavor. And of course, it's especially important that G20 countries, as the world's largest economies, are actively working on this. So from that point of view, we welcome Indonesia's commitment to achieve climate neutrality by 2060. And clearly, among other things, it would mean phasing out of coal and developing renewable energies. And that's where some of the support programs we were mentioning, that's exactly what they are designed to do.
Thank you, Mr. Valdis Dombrovskis, European Commission Executive Vice President, for your time. Stay healthy and have a good week. Demikianlah interview kami bersama dengan Wakil Presiden Eksekutif Komisi Uni Eropa, Mr. Valdis Dombrovskis. Saya Andi Shalini, CNBC Indonesia, Beyond Business.